This episode is being brought to you by these giant pine cones. Who can hate the pine cones? Have you ever thought about what it would be like to sit in at your own funeral? Get Low presents this question in the form of a dark comedy, or at least that's what the Netflix description would like you to believe. It states, Robert Duvall stars as an irascible backwoods loner Felix Bush, who plans his funeral while he's still around to attend and enjoy the proceedings. Although listed as a comedy and a drama, I think in this case the film firmly fits into the realm of a drama and stars heavyweights, Robert Duvall and Bill Murray alongside Sissy Spacek, who has a long list of awards herself. The story of the film is one of part folklore and part history. You see, there really was a Felix Bush, though his real name was Bush Breezia, I don't even know how to pronounce it. He really did host his own funeral in June of 1938 as well. The true story is questionably more interesting than this one. You see, it's about the early days of newspaper and media, which turned this event into a spectacle, and was even photographed by Life magazine and covered by Associated Press. The story presented by the film is a little different, and creates a new person of the man, one of fiction and folklore. Probably even connected to the stories that people would have told about the recluse that the original story was about. This one shifts more to a man with a troubled past, one born out of tragedy and circumstance. This quirky character will carry you through some challenging story elements and conversations that provoke thought about questions of mortality, forgiveness, and the consequences of self-loathing. Many of the elements that challenge the viewer also challenge the characters in the story, and you get to see them change as the event comes together. Technically speaking, there's nothing remarkable in the way that the film is actually shot. The locations are modest and limited, but this is no surprise given the small estimated budget. You can see by the quality of the actors, though, where their money was put and well spent. Bill Murray, for example, shines in this film as a calloused funeral home director who seems to have done every suspiciously conniving job in his past. But his calloused personality is one subject to change. And Robert Duvall does not disappoint in his ability to show the subtleties of what the character is thinking, making his role believable and really real to the moment. It's not a perfect film by any means, and there are a couple of loose ends in the film. One notable conflict with another townsperson is never resolved despite revisiting that conflict midway through the film. There are also some exchanges of dialogue that, while they make sense later on, they feel like the director was trying to make something poignant happen and just didn't get there. Fortunately, these are counterbalanced by the truly powerful moments in the film where you see a character change despite themselves when they're confronted by the realities of their situation. As such, I would give this film a solid 3.5 out of 5 flying monkeys for technical merit and story. There's some loose ends, but the story is a powerful one that, if you allow it to, will speak to you in a very personal way. For content considerations, I would recommend this film to adults and late teens looking for a thoughtful film that deals with some serious topics. There is some light profanity in the film. It is always presented as something of immorality, and the film even apologizes for it at times. Another thing that parents should know is that there is some religious and spiritual representation. The main character, for example, is asked if he has gone to God to ask for forgiveness. For family friendliness, I would give this only 2 out of 5 buffaloes, since the content is very serious and it really isn't for kids. As always, at Always a Critic, if you've seen the film and have an opinion, let us know in the comments below. And of course, subscribe now to keep up with all the reviews we do at Always a Critic, where expressing an opinion helps others to express their own.